The topic is C8 Corvette front grille covers. Do you think you might need them? Well, Taj says you don't.
The DCT transmission operates in a relatively narrow range of temperature. The lube inside the DCT needs to be held to very specific temperature windows. It's not very tolerant of very high temperatures in lube. So we actually tested various mesh configurations and found that they restricted airflow.
This is a topic that coincides with Lamborghinis and other vehicles as well. Hey, hello, how are you? Welcome to Road Odyssey. I am Burke. Hope you're having a very nice day. And the topic today is actually very old. I mean, this topic has been around a very, very long time, and it involves the front grille covers. So, I am getting to the point where I do not want any more damage to the front grilles of my C8 Corvette. Now, I can get these grille covers, some cheap, some very expensive, and they go in front of the AC condensers and prevent them from getting overly damaged. So when you damage those, condensers, that kind of blocks some of the airflow into the radiators that are located just behind them. So this is something that I would like to investigate, see if it's what I want, and I thought I would just include you in my journey to reiterate all the old data, look into some other points of views, and decide if whether or not this is a wise decision for me, at which might also be a good decision for yourself. So let's get on into it. Let me begin this by using Amelia Hartford. She has her YouTube channel and her C8 Corvette that she is highly modified. And you can see here where her front condensers have been heavily damaged because they're not well protected. From her experience, she hypothesized that the front condenser damage was bad enough that a lack of airflow was going through the condensers and not reaching the radiators right behind them. This would heavily impact the car's ability to cool the powertrain. So she got these grille covers, which I believe are from Paragon, and installed them in hopes that this would prevent her from having this issue any further. Now you can find lots of articles on the internet pertaining to this topic. And just like going out to Paragon, you can find lots of radiator guards out there for various prices. For about the next 3 minutes, I would like to play for you the Corvette team update from the 2021 National Corvette Museum Bash.
Is there any reason why the grille guards were not put on the front radiators?
The answer is yes. We're going for maximum cooling. We wanted to make sure that the car runs robustly in all weather conditions and also on the track. The DCT transmission operates in a relatively narrow range of temperature. The lube inside the DCT needs to be held to very specific temperature windows. It's not very tolerant of very high temperatures in lube. So we need to make sure we had the most robust cooling as possible. And so we actually tested various mesh configurations and found that they restricted airflow. And so we also tested without them. And yes, like any car, almost any car, you can get the fins on the heat exchangers bent over, and that gives you the appearance with stone impact. Ours is a little more visible because it's closer behind the grille than most cars. But if you look at most cars, especially ones with open grills, you can if you can see in there, you can see that the radiator has that same condition. But in our testing, it shows no degradation of thermal performance. And so we're not putting that grill in there now. So I've heard people express the concern, they don't like the look. So we are trying to explore to see if there's anything else we might do that doesn't, in an undesirable way, reduce the cooling performance. Maybe we'll find something, but I can't suggest, I can't promise that at this time. So there are other aftermarket companies offering that, and some of them we obviously can't test all of them, and we don't make it our business to test them, but we keep an eye on what's going on out there. And for many people, honestly, if you don't live in a real hot weather environment, if you don't track your car, and you'd like the additional protection, even though we can't offer it, there probably are some aftermarket grill meshes that would be acceptable. However, if you put them on your car and you get overheating, that won't be on us, that won't be on GM.
All right, let's quickly review what he said. Grill guards not installed to ensure maximum cooling. DCT is not tolerant of high temperatures. Debris impact on the condensers do not degrade their performance. Not really part of the point to this, but anyway. If you do not track and or do not drive in hot weather, then grill guards are acceptable. Install aftermarket guards at your own risk, and overheating due to grill guards is not the fault of GM. Now, important points to this is that they did test grill guards, and they looked at mesh options to be considered in the future, but there's no promise. Now, why would they even look into this? Well, I guess primarily they're trying to say they're doing it for aesthetic reasons. All right, here's the perception and point of view that I want to make looking at the do and don't. So for don't install grill guards, you don't install them if you're at the racetrack, driving aggressively, or in the hot weather. You can install grill guards for regular use, tame regular driving, and when the weather's okay. I would like to add a big but to this because this does not make logical sense to me. And here's why. Yes, I think, not saying I know, but I think there is another big problem with the C8 Corvette in regard to these condensers getting beat up so much. To begin with, racetrack, aggressive driving, hot weather. Bad excuses because I know for a fact race cars use grill covers for the radiators. This is one from LG Motorsport, and here's a batch of grill guards right here on just one web page. When you look at the front of the C8 Corvette and the location of the radiators, they are very similar to, say, like the Lamborghini Huracans. Almost identical setup. Now, you can go out on the internet and you can find the exact same kind of arguments about the Huracan radiator grill guards. They are out there and they have the exact same problem with their grills getting really bashed up. So there are companies out there like Exotic Insight that has grill guards. And they sit here and they say, hey, this is a design flaw. It messes up the, performance of the car in terms of temperature. And so I looked at this and it looks like these grill guards might be good for the Lamborghini. Now, I showed you previously, Porsches, they can be the same way. But here again, when the C8's condenser gets so beat up, how in the world is air going to flow through the radiators? It just really looks like the transmission truly can more easily get overheated. So, looking out for C8 Corvettes and getting these grill covers, there are plenty of people out there, and oddly enough, they also say that this is a design flaw, and that the grill covers really do help. So you can find plenty of these. Here's another one. Here's Paragon again. So let me give you my thoughts as to what you might choose to do. Before doing anything, learn how to use your dash. Get that transmission fluid tile in view, and for me, I've got it under my tire status. So there's my transmission fluid, and then there's my temperature right below that. All right, so rules. All right, get your baseline for each of your conditions of driving. First thing to do, you got to know how your temperatures are looking just in normal conditions without the guards. All right, so install the guards, then verify your temperatures again. Go back to each of those conditions that you got baseline values for before and compare them. Now, this is very important. Repeat step 3 if conditions change. Like if you're now driving in a very, very hot area, or if the weather conditions have gotten much hotter, or if you're driving more aggressively, whatever that case is, repeat step 3 and validate that you are not overheating your car. Looking at this from a different perspective, there are fin straightening tools out there. Now, I did not see a fin straightening tool for the type of radiators that are on the C8 Corvette, Lamborghinis, and so forth. So I don't know the reality of that, but from everything I've read on the forums, no, you can't straighten the fins without going one by one very tediously and for just hours. And besides that, you can't fix huge rock holes going through your condensers. Another point is, what if that condenser or both condensers really get badly damaged? Well, you're going to have to replace them. And so I looked around a little bit and I could find them for around $100. So there you go, $100 each. Now, what does it cost on labor in order to get these things replaced? Well, that depends on your state, your location, the type of shop. The make and model is a Corvette, so it might be a little bit more expensive, not like a Land Rover or something like that, but anyway, more expensive. And do the people doing the work have the experience and the certifications for it? All of that will add up. Let's say you do not put on the grill guards and at least one of your condensers gets really messed up and you're a little bit worried about your transmission overheating. Well, what are those costs? All right. Well, I've kind of played with this, and without calling a Chevy dealership or anything like that, I just thought I'd get a roundabout idea of the cost. So we've seen condensers at about $100. You get the refrigerant. You probably need over 18 ounces or so. So that's got to be at least about $75, maybe more than that. And you're going to be charged at least a few hours labor. So just taking everything apart and putting it back together, at least 4 hours, maybe 5 or 6. But anyway, it's going to take some time. That's got to be at least $400. So total, you're looking at minimum $600 for repair cost. My guesstimate was wrong. It's really about $800. $161 for the condensers, $640 for the labor cost, which should include the fluids, and this was from a North Dallas dealership. Bunch of money. So, ultimately, you can depend on the experts who know your vehicle best, Chevrolet, and do what they said. Do not install if you're at the racetrack driving aggressively or in hot weather. Or you can install under regular use, tame driving, and the weather is just fine. Alternatively, you can try the rules that I think might work, which are get your baseline, install the guards, and verify if they work. and repeat if any conditions change. A final solution is just sit, do nothing, and see what happens. Furthermore, you may just reach out to other C8 owners and just see what they've done. Poke around a little bit and network, see what other C8 owners have decided to do for themselves. Well, that'll do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. I would really appreciate that very much, and I appreciate all of y'all who have subscribed. You're wonderful, and I hope this video was helpful for you. Just going back over old information relative to these grill covers. And so if you're a new C8 owner or potential C8 owner here in the future, this stuff may be worth your while to really think about and considering having on your car. So with that, relax, take it easy, and I will see you later. Bye.